Hi guys, Jace here with Louis, MEC Bikes, and over this winter we're going to give you some tips and tricks on how to keep your bike running smoothly, or at least Louis is, and hopefully you will learn something, so stay tuned. I'm sure I'm going to learn something.
Hey, Louis here, working with Jace to bring you guys some tips. And today we thought a very relevant one would be how to lubricate your e-bike chain. We get this asked to us a lot in the shop, and it's not quite as simple as it might seem, because unlike a normal bike, when you're pedaling backwards with an e-bike, your chain's not going backwards. So how do we get around that? The obvious one, which a lot of people end up doing, and to be honest, until today, we were suggesting, is put your bike upside down and pedal the chain forwards. The downside of this is obviously e-bikes aren't the lightest. You also quite often have some controls up on the handlebars that'll get scratched up, and it's also still quite fiddly lubricating the chain when the bike is upside down. So we're going to show you a quick and easy way to alleviate your hassles. Okay, so we're going to obviously need a few things. We're going to need some chain lubricant of your choice. We are going to need a rag to wipe the excess off, and we're going to need an Allen key. And now this is the key thing. We need to find the right Allen key which fits into the chainring bolt. So in this case it is a 5mm chainring bolt. So what we're looking at here is, if we take the Allen key out for a moment, we pedal the cranks backwards just with the pedals, and you can see the chain is obviously not moving. This means that when we're dribbling the chain lube on, it's going to be a very labor intensive job, because we're having to manually move the chain bit by bit while we do it. By adding the Allen key into one of the chainring bolts, what this allows us to do is, when we turn the cranks backwards, the cranks catch on the Allen key attached to the chainring bolt, which drags the chainring backwards. So this allows us to, like a regular push bike, turn the cranks backwards and the chain moves backwards. A few basic tips about lubricating your chain. The biggest thing, to be honest, is you don't want any lubricant on your disc brake. You've probably heard that 1,000 times before. When you're lubricating your chain, the key thing you can do to help this is to not have your chain in the easy gears, have it down in the harder gears. That means when you're lubricating the chain and there's any excess, it's less likely to get on your disc brake. So we're just going to do that now. We're going to move it into the hardest gear. When lubricating your chain, all of your different chain lubes that you can choose from have instructions on the back. Depending on the chain lubricant you have, whether it's dry or wet, or different brands have different processes. The key thing is to follow that process. This chain lube in particular, it suggests to apply vigorously and pedal through for 20-30 seconds and then wipe the excess off. So that's what we're going to do. So we get our Allen key, we're going to put that in the chainring bolt, we're going to turn the crank backwards, and now, this is personal preference, but I lubricate the chain up here. And so I'm just going to make sure I'm getting plenty of lubricant on the chain. The good thing with this chain lubricant is that you can't put too much on. So it's designed so that you fully douse the chain until it's almost dripping. We can then further pedal this round for sort of 20 seconds, and we can see here it's actually dripping off the chain. So that means it's fully in there, it's working into the chain, doing its job. Once we're happy with a bit of time's being passed, we can then just wipe the excess off. And the other good thing about this chain lubricant is you can't wipe too much off. So that's the key thing. Put lots on, wipe all the excess off. Okay, cool. So if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. We're happy to answer them. Thank you.